This is Mike from Clown Dog Bikes again. Today we're going to be talking about different rim sizes, tire volumes, different types of tubes, and the different types of tires that are out there for you nowadays. So tires are measured with two measurements, one of them being the rim diameter, the second one being the tire volume. In the case of all the tires I have here, they're all 700C tires. What that means is that the rim diameter is 622 millimeters from edge to edge. In order for the tire to fit snugly, it needs to be 622 millimeters. The second number is the volume. Most of the time, again, this is metric. 700s, they tend to be 23s, 25s, 28s. That all just refers to the millimeters width inflated. 23 is 23 millimeters across, 25 is 25 millimeters across.
Tell them about the tubes already, dude.
So we talked about the rim sizes, now we're going to talk a little bit about tire sizes and what that means and what you can do and what you can't do. Most of the time, tire volume is going to be limited to what the frame can take. In the instance of this one, this tire is a 700 by 23. It's a pretty small tire, but as you can see, it's a super tight fit. There's no way we're going to fit a bigger tire in there without rubbing the frame. You also can't go all willy-nilly changing rim diameters to get a larger volume tire. The reason is the brakes still have to reach. So the only time you can get away with changing rim size outside of fit is going to be a disc brake setup where it's actually clamping at the hub. Different tire volumes will give you different ride qualities. A very small volume tire like this is super efficient on the road. You have very little surface area touching, so you're making less friction. You're going to roll more quickly. Larger tire volumes, again talking about 700s, 32s, 38s, 40s, 42s. They're a lot squishier. They soften the ride up a little bit more, make your life a little more comfortable, but you're sacrificing efficiency when you do that. So earlier I mentioned there are different rim diameters. I pulled a selection of tires that fit pretty much the entirety of the different rim sizes that are out there. Usually three of the most common ones we get are going to be a 27 by 1 1/4. It's usually just a 630 would be the rim diameter. This is real common on old road bikes, 70s, 80s. It's a real common tire. We have the standard 700, which is a 622. We have two different kinds of 26 1 3/8. These are 70s style kind of roadster cruisers. There's a 590 and a 597. The difference being the larger one, the 597, is usually on old Schwinns. It's a Schwinn specific tire size. They still make them, but they don't make a lot of options. You usually get one tire. 26 1 3/8 in the 590. You have a lot of tire options. If you have this one and the rim is damaged, you can switch and usually not have a problem with brakes. The one I don't have, it's a newer tire. We don't usually see too much of them floating around here. It's called a 650B. Sometimes it's called a 27.5. That diameter is a 584. Like I said, it's a new mountain bike thing. They kind of switched the tire sizes over from the classic 26. It's a little bit larger in diameter. People like that a little bit more. It was real classic back in the 80s. It's kind of on a resurgence right now. We have their standard 26-inch, 559. This one is a 24 by 1. Usually you only see these on old Terrys, where it's got the little itty bitty front wheel and a real big back wheel. These guys, I believe, are a 520 bead. Then we get into some of the BMX stuff. 24-inch tires and a 20-inch tire. Most of the time these don't put a metric number on there, but the 24 is a 507, the 20-inch is a 406. We get into the kid stuff after that, 18s, 16s, 12s. We don't usually stock too much of those, but it's a real common tire. We can always order it. Usually it's within 24 hours. So I pulled a selection of tires that we really do like to stock here in the shop. First one is the Continental Gator Skin. This guy, it has their Poly X Breaker flat protection system. What that is, it's a very tightly woven polyester strip, same kind of strip they put on car tires. It's been great in both applications. It allows this tire to be a very high mileage tire and does a killer job in terms of preventing flats. You can use it for both road training rides. You can also use it for commuting. It does a great job in both of them. Another one we really like to stock is the Freedom Thick Slick. It's a very thickly treaded tire, 7-8 millimeters thick. It's one we usually recommend it for people on fixed gear single speed bikes, where if you really like to skid to a stop or skip or just lock your brakes up and just have that back tire drag. It's a lot of material there to burn through, and it's also a lot more material for stuff to get through before it finally punctures a tube. On the more basic side of things, again, another Continental, huge fan of the Continentals. the Super Sport. This one, they use a super elastic rubber underneath the tread, so it's very difficult for it to actually penetrate. It does a lot of deformation, but it's very difficult to actually get something through the tread of the tire. This one is just not terribly expensive, but it does a killer job of holding up. A little bit heavier than the Continental, but again, does a great job. On the more basic side of things, for those on a budget just trying to get point A to point B, we usually stock the Kenda tires. These guys are really just a rubber shell, holds the tire in, allows you to go forward, just keeps it plain and simple. So the reason we've been talking about these rim sizes and tire sizes so much is, what size tubes you need? You need to know these numbers to make sure we're getting you the right product. In case of this one I got right here, it fits a 700C rim, which is 622 millimeters across, and it fits a tire from 28 to 35 millimeters in width. These tubes fit a range, so we need to know what size tire you have, not what size tube you had. They can vary manufacturer to manufacturer. The other thing to think about is if you're getting a whole lot of flats, again, we need to know your tire size for this product called Tuffy liners. If you don't want to replace that tire, but you keep getting flats and you want to try to curb that, these things can go in. They sit between the tube and the tire, and it's one more layer of protection that sharp things have to get through before you get a flat tire. Also, if you put it in a more basic tire and you upgrade in the future, the tire liner can go with you. So this is Mike from Clown Dog Bikes saying thanks for watching again. I hope this video on rim sizes and tire volumes helped you out. As always, if you've got a question, let your bike shop, be a resource for you. Stop on in if you've got questions about tires. That's what we're here for, or any other product for that matter. Also, if you guys have any ideas on videos you'd like to see, feel free to leave a comment at the bottom of the video.